Listen up, you George Bush stans. Anyone who's fixin' for some Nixon, or if you're begging for some Reagan. Today, I'm trying to dodge being canceled, so I'm ranking every US president by their singing ability. Now, I can hear you asking, oh, Joel, you can't rank the US presidents. Most of them aren't even recorded on audio. Or something like that. It all started in 1889 when President Benjamin Harrison became the first ever president to record himself on audio on an Edison recorder. So from Harrison to Biden, we have 24, or roughly half of the US presidents that we can rank their singing. And since Trump and Biden are the candidates again, well, this video is good for like 5 years. Let's jump into it. I thought about doing this in order, but it seemed like a lot more fun to just spin a wheel and take them however they come. So, first up, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Now, there are no recordings of President Eisenhower singing, so we're gonna have to listen to his voice and determine how good he would be. This is the Eisenhower speech.
Sailors and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force are upon you.
I honestly feel like Eisenhower's voice sounds AI generated. Like, is it actually real? Was Eisenhower real? So for any of the presidents that we don't have a singing recording, we're just gonna have to kind of guess how they would have sounded based on their voice. Was it strong? Was it nasally? Eisenhower sounds like he had a very strong voice. Like he had definitely done some yelling. He was also just very concise in the way he spoke. I feel like he would have some skill, but I don't necessarily feel like the guy would have pitch. Like he might have the power, so I'm gonna go ahead and give Eisenhower just a little bit of a C tier. Amazing sounding talking voice, but I don't think it would translate to singing. Sorry, buddy. All right, what you got for me next? John F. Kennedy. Wait, before, you have to hear the Kennedy campaign song. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
A man who's old enough to know and young enough to do.
That's good. We do have this one recording where he's singing. I don't know if we'll be able to hear him, but let's try. Oh, man, the band went hard there. Okay, but I couldn't really tell Kennedy in the mix, so let's just listen to him talk.
I do not shrink from this responsibility.
Oh.
I welcome it.
Oh, did you hear that? He was so sing-songy how he said that. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. Okay, JFK, I feel like he's got a sing-songy way he talks. We got a video of him singing the national anthem. I don't know if I could really pick out his voice and all that noise, but he really has a sing-songy way he talks. I feel like he could be a strong singer. I would give him a B tier, but I'm gonna be honest. That campaign song goes so hard, he's getting just a free pass. It's JFK, right? Like, he's getting a free pass to A tier. So, JFK, nice job. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Woodrow Wilson. All right. Another very old recording, as Wilson's only the 6th president to be recorded. So, let's just listen to him speak.
Added to this element are a great many men and women of noble character and of elevated purpose.
Okay, hear me out. I know this might be a little crazy. The accent's different, but he kind of sounds like Johnny Cash. Wilson.
Serve the industry of the country.
Cash.
Did have some good lunches there at Taylor's Rest.
Wilson's got a great quality to his voice. Reminds me a little bit of Cash, so I'm just gonna drop him right here in the B tier. I feel like he'd be a solid baritone. I think it's just it was hiding in him. Maybe he sang. I don't know. Let's spin the wheel on Bill Clinton. Okay, Bill. I did not have. Bill Clinton is actually quite musical. Before we hear his singing, check this out. Look at that, Bill. The sunglasses too. I mean, honestly, this is giving me so much epic sax guy vibes. This is Bill. This is Bill.
They're the same picture.
Okay, but we do actually have a video of Bill Clinton singing, so the sax is out the door. It's the voice that counts, Bill. He actually looks kind of like uncomfortable and awkward right here. Well, maybe this is not a comfortable situation for him. Oh, okay. Yeah. She's pretty good. Bill, yet to be determined. He did it! Come on, let's go! I kind of feel like he's singing like a low baritone bass, but his voice probably isn't. Maybe I'm just being presumptuous that I know his voice better than him, but it just doesn't sound quite right. This is tough because I really want to give him points because we got a great recording where we can really hear him singing. The problem is he didn't execute very well. We're not ranking these from like amazing singers. This is just against other presidents. So I'm gonna put him right there with JFK. I think it was solid, but not great. But that situation could have been hard, could have been weird, could have just been an off day. Maybe not Bill's song. What have you now? Richard Nixon, yes. Nixon might actually be the most musical of all the presidents. Apparently he played the piano, the violin, the clarinet, the saxophone, and the accordion. I actually think that's really cool. So Nixon, here's the offer I'm gonna make representing the people of America. If you can crack into at least S tier with your singing, that little Watergate thing, we're just gonna forget about it. We'll let it go, okay?
Mr. President, Mr. President, I don't know whether I'm finding him or he's finding me. When a dear... No, I'm fine.
He's really funny. This is honestly just accompanying any singer. This is a completely natural situation. This video is a must for every performing arts major. Yes, it is. I don't know who Pearl Bailey is, but she has a really nice voice. So the man could play piano, but could he sing?
Say to him, and please in the key of G.
Look, I know Nixon had his controversy and he may not be the most popular president, but in like the last 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure he's become my favorite. I'll be straight up. It is pretty slim pickings for most of these guys and their singing ability. And Nixon seems to just check all the musical boxes. Plus, he's hilarious. He's a great entertainer. And I know we're only focusing on singing ability, but it's my tier list. I think he was awesome. I thought in that happy birthday thing, I thought I could hear him. I wasn't totally sure. He's either S or royalty. His personality charmed me so much. I want to vote for him right now. Oh, you can't say that. I'll give him an S tier. An S tier. I'm going to restrain myself, save that royalty tier for someone ultra special. But Nixon, dude, he is amazing. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Ronald Reagan. Okay. If you didn't already know, Ronald Reagan was an actor, and he's probably the only president we have like a proper recording of him singing. So we're going to check out Ronald Reagan in this movie called Loving You.
Cloudy days are sunny.
Loving you.
Are you sure?
That voice.
I
Oh,
will be loving you.
oh my
I'll
gosh.
be hugging you
How?
like a baby panda.
Man, he can sing, he can harmonize, like, we all know where this is headed. But before we do, we gotta laugh at some Nixon humor. Let's laugh at some Reagan humor.
Pound his desk and say, Mr. General Secretary, I don't like the way President Reagan's running his country. He said he'd been having dinner over at the home of a young...
He's got a great speaking voice too. Like, oh, it's so silky. I just want to like have him read me bedtime stories, you know? You don't want that too? That's just me? There's been a huge mistake. I'm sure you noticed I grabbed Ronald Reagan and I put him in S tier. I meant to put Richard Nixon in S tier. Ronald Reagan is going straight up to royalty tier. Holy crap, what a silky smooth voice. He sings great. He harmonized great. He has it all. He's got the looks. He's got the humor. Is he the greatest president that there ever was? I certainly think so. Okay. We gotta move on. Next president. I literally cannot imagine we're gonna hit a high like that next. Harry S. Truman. Okay. Truman is my homie from Missouri, but I am not gonna let that impede my judgment. There will be no bias. Truman, you do not get a pass. Truman was yet another piano player. That's the only recording I could find, but just based on those, I think Nixon has him beat a little bit on the piano playing.
I wish that Franklin D. Roosevelt had lived to see this day,
But you didn't want to hear his singing voice.
or the tyranny of military cliques that once called us soft and weak.
I love how he says that once called us soft and weak. Truman puts me in a tough spot because that voice did not sound like a voice that could sing. He's got some piano playing, so that may give him like a little bump up, and also that was a pretty nasty zinger at the end. So I was leaning towards the D tier based on that, but that zinger, just because it was good and the piano recording, I'm just gonna bump you up there. You can hang out with Eisenhower. You guys can chill in the C tier, okay? That is my Missouri bias helping you. Joe Biden, the current president. Let me just tell you, with all the AI Biden Trump clips floating around, it was so hard to find a real recording of Biden singing. Like, the AI thing was hilarious, but it really just clouded the internet with so much crap.
Has a rule in our family. When it's somebody's
Alrighty.
birthday, sing happy birthday. You ready?
All right.
Happy birthday.
Okay, I'm gonna be careful here, but I will just say, starting Happy Birthday in a silent room with a microphone in front of people, that is a hard thing to do. So, respect, Joe. All right, let's see if he falls asleep.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, I really want to dog on that because it's not like it sounded good or anything. But here's the thing. He's 80 years old. His pitch honestly wasn't bad.
Happy birthday.
I'm going to say he's a little bit of the stronger contender. I'm going to jump Joe up to a B tier, okay? He surprisingly earned it. I was expecting that to be like F, like our first F. But he kind of whipped out at 80 years old, like a strong enough voice to get through that. So good job, Joe. Okay, we got to get away from current politics because I don't want to get canceled. All right, Mustachio Taft. But first, I found this video about Taft from the Two-Man Gentleman Band.
Great big belly, great big thighs that slap together when he walked by. Measured it, got himself stuck in a bathtub, secret service, and the police prime out with a tub of grease.
I'll leave a link for this in the description. This is comedy gold. I love this.
Especially does not he represent them, who, assuming that only the people
William Howard Taft, he's got a big old stash and a bigger laugh. With that fancy voice, it gives me the choice of a B tier for William Howard Taft. Not bad. Next up, let's see what we got. Calvin Coolidge. I don't know anything about Calvin Coolidge, really. Man, his face reminds me of some English actor. I feel like he was in Doctor Who at some point. My boy Calvin is yet another president we unfortunately only have talking recordings of, so we're just gonna have to judge from his voice, his presentation. Does he have a singer in him?
Country needs every ounce of its energy to restore itself.
Oh, no.
Are all assessed upon the people.
Dude, I kind of wish Coolidge was president before there was recordings. It'd be better if we forgot this voice. According to Alfred E. Smith, Coolidge was distinguished for character more than for heroic achievement. His great task was to restore the dignity and prestige of the presidency when it had reached its lowest ebb in our history, in a time of extravagance and waste. Yeah, but that voice ugly. F tier. Jimmy Carter, baby. Jimmy Carter. Carter also has an awesome campaign song.
I heard a young man speaking out just the other day.
Campaign videos are awkward and stupid sounding when they're new, and the age does not help. This is hilarious. Actually, I take it back. If any president came out and released a campaign song this year, they would immediately have my vote. That is the coolest thing ever. Ever. Yo, does Jimmy Carter kind of look like Mr. Rogers to anyone else? They kind of got to say, okay, okay, never mind. I'm just stupid. Yo, Jimmy Carter is 99 years old and he's on hospice care, but he could potentially live to 100. That's crazy. That's crazy. Jimmy Carter actually seems really dope. I hope that's okay to say, but it all comes down to singing ability. It doesn't matter what they did. It doesn't matter what they said. It matters is what they sounded like.
This tremendous crowd
Oh.
at 4 o'clock in the morning represents
Oh, no.
who are now
Jimmy,
ready to see our nation.
Jimmy, no. Yeah. I hate his voice. He seems cool, but it's not Coolidge bad, but it's pretty awful. And I can't imagine there's a great singing voice hiding behind his talking voice. Carter, I'm sorry, dude, but you gotta be You seem cool. You seem cool. I'd love to meet you. We really need a win. Please give us someone good. Donald Trump. There is absolutely zero chance Trump can sing. I refuse to believe it right now. Wait, check this out. This is 2012. Maybe. For the life of me, I can't find a recording of Trump singing. I don't know how he's done it, but I do have one recording of other people singing, and he's like talking in between. I don't know. It's got like a spoken word vibe. Check it out.
To the flag of the United States of America.
I love the reverb on it. I pledge allegiance, allegiance, allegiance.
And he says, oh, it's for the rich, not for the rich. It's for companies that employ people, and it's for the middle class.
This is a big moment here, but Trump does not have it. I'm sorry. It's not Coolidge bad, but he's got a pretty rough voice, if we're all being honest. And there's no way he can sing. That is why there's not a recording. He has somehow got all the recordings of him singing. Like if you try to record him singing, you're gone. You vanished from the face of the planet. Trump's gonna have to be a D tier. I'm sorry. There's no way. I mean, if you would have like whipped out some happy birthday move like Joe did, then maybe. Trump didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't deliver. I'm sorry. Alrighty, who's it gonna be? Theodore Roosevelt. All right. Another great mustache-wearing president.
Granted great visions, who dream greatly and kindle the people with the fire from their own burning souls.
Oh. He has a terrible voice. You always hear about what a beast he is, an outdoorsman, horseback riding. He's got all these crazy stories and legends about Roosevelt. And man, what a weak voice. This is so weak sauce.
And go forward steadily, avoiding all wild...
Theo. This is the biggest upset of the day. Plus, just like Coolidge, he's got the chain from his glasses, and that's just tacky. It's just tacky. I got no choice. I literally got no choice. It's a D tier. He does not have a good voice. I don't want to listen to it. My image of Roosevelt has gone down like half from what I used to think, because that voice is just, bro. All right, we need a recovery after that. That really kind of ruined my whole perception of U.S. history. Lyndon B. Johnson. Is he gonna be a sleeper?
The battle will not be over.
Oh.
What happened in Selma is part of a far larger movement which...
He sounds like my family from down south. Where's he from? He's from Texas. Of course he's from Texas. Also, Lyndon's kind of a dope name. Why did that fall out of style?
I think that day will brighten the lives of every American.
I like how he talks. I really like how he talks. Even though I don't have a recording of him singing, he's got that voice that sounds like, the old guy that's behind you when you go to your grandma's Baptist church. He sounds like that. And I feel like he'd be a little bit, like he'd sneak in there. I'm going to go out there and just say it. Probably a B tier. I mean, it's a nice voice. And he has a nice face while he sings too. So anyway, talk. It's really good. Alrighty, we're getting down to just a few presidents left. George H.W. Bush. All right. We do have video and audio of George H.W. Bush singing. So, let's check it out.
My home, sweet home. Everybody.
That dude just went, oh. That's nice.
God bless America.
Okay, this is a tough bit of investigative journalism I've been doing. I've determined two voices that he's not, and there's some other male voices I can kind of hear. I'm pretty sure it's like one of those that I hear in there, but it's really hard to tell. We're going to have to defer to his talking to come to our final conclusion.
New world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
He's like a little on the nasally side when he talks. I don't really like it. All right, George Bush. I think the fact that you were singing, especially at such an old age, I'm pretty sure I could hear your voice in there. I'm gonna drop you here in a C tier. Like, you showed up, you got the job done. Did I like your singing voice? Not really. Did I think your talking voice was nice? No, not particularly. But it didn't it wasn't off-putting. You were no Coolidge. You were no Jimmy Carter. And that I appreciate. Come on, we got some big hitters still left in here I'm curious about. Let's see. Oh, Grover Cleveland. I don't know much about Cleveland, honestly. I feel like the only notable thing I know about Grover Cleveland is that his name is Grover. And Grover's kind of a wild name. Even though Benjamin Harrison was actually the first president recorded on audio, Grover Cleveland, because he was president before Harrison and after, is actually the oldest U.S. president on the list. Oh my gosh. Dude, he's kind of spitting. He's got some rhythm. He's like, and I believe every American has a hope and a dream of freedom and I. Honestly, for someone who's a little more nasally, it actually kind of works. It's very sing-songy. If that man wanted me to go like march to war and die, dude, I'm probably there for it, honestly. I was feeling that, like in a major way. So I'm gonna whip you out here, Cleveland. You're gonna land up there in the B tier. You're riding like C tier because it was just a little more like than I prefer still, but I think you edged it out because like the rhythm of his talk was so cool. Like you could just like put a drum beat behind that, like every American loves the Constitution. It gives us freedom in this epic nation. Alrighty, who is next? William McKinley. All right, we're getting some real oldies right now. Oh my gosh. Bro, them eyebrows are like, that's crazy. He's even more sing-songy. Now it is our time to preserve. It's so good. Why don't people talk like this anymore? Yeah, we got another shoe-in for a B tier. Like, great sing-songiness to his voice. His is even a little more powerful than Cleveland. I feel like his is slightly less rhythmic, but just like a more like strong like voice. Like I believe in his voice a little more, just the tone of it. So those old guys, they really are coming out swinging. Alrighty. Herbert Hoover. Just to clarify things, this is not the Hoover vacuum. No sucking, blocking. No sucking. I mean, I'm sure there's pumps on here that do all sorts of sucking. Are we clear now?
Recovery is the most urgent problem before the entire world.
Your support and
Man, Herbie here is kind of throwing me through a loop. Like, it's really hard to tell just from the quality of his voice. Like, sometimes you hear a voice like this, and then they just whip out a singing voice, and it takes you by surprise. It didn't trigger me like the bottom one, so I'm just gonna let Herbert fly in there at a C. Man, Hooves, man. We still got a nice spread with the oldest one and a couple presidents from the 2000s still, so this will be interesting. All right, the other Roosevelt. I'm completely distracted here, but apparently this is a recording of FDR and Churchill singing hymns. All right, I think many of us are familiar with FDR's voice, but let's listen to him declare war on Japan.
Members of the Senate, of the House of Representatives, yesterday.
Oh my gosh. What a voice. I genuinely wish I came on videos and I was like, people of YouTube, it is my great pleasure to present to you this day the official ranking of all U.S. presidents by their singing voices.
Between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
Yeah. If FDR stared me down, I would be weak. He's so intimidating. Yeah, that is a stellar voice. And although there are no recordings of him singing, this might be the only one that doesn't have a singing recording that's gonna get to A tier. I just gotta believe that man could bellow. What a voice. It's so good. Man, my voice sucks compared to that. I'll never speak that cool. George W. Bush. Oh, baby. In a completely different tier list, George Bush would make royalty tier for the most memeable presidents. He's got so many like awkward things he says or weird things he says.
To do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive. Now watch this drive.
Yo, George W. Bush has the funniest quotes. Oh, man. But we're not here to make us laugh. We're here to scientifically and critically evaluate his singing. So let's check it out. Apparently, he sang this a week after he handed over the presidency.
The walls that surround me. Yes, you're all gonna miss me the way you used to quiz me. Well, soon I'll touch the...
Yo, okay. He did not do that bad. Again, this is relative to presidents, not to like professional singers, but That's pretty good. Can he live up there next to Nixon? Is that? I'm gonna do it. George W. Bush. There it is. Bush did sing very well. All right. Spin the wheel. Who's it gonna be? All right. Barack Obama! Let's go! The big B.O. Yo, Obama has an amazing talking voice. My money is on, we could have a double S tier situation. Maybe our next royalty tier. Like, honestly, great talking voice. We have a surplus. We have a smorgasbord of Obama singing moments. So let's check them all out.
Because I heard you. Come on. I heard you sing it Al Green. So
Yo, imagining peer pressuring the president.
you done started something, you gotta keep it up now.
Uh-oh. This is gonna be another upset? Obama, no!
Baby, don't you wanna go?
Dude, all these musicians are so good. I want to be like a 10th as good as them. That's my goal in this life.
Sweet home Chicago.
Yeah. It's a much tougher situation right here. Much tougher. Just raw, no music. Come on. Don't let me down. Come on!
Amazing grace.
All right. One more. This is a funny one. Come on.
So in love with you.
I'm going to come out honest here and say it. I'm a little let down. I thought he might just have like up there with Ronald Reagan. I don't think he touches Reagan, but he's definitely there with Bush and Nixon in my book. Probably even slightly better than both of them. What do we think? Should we probably, I feel like Reagan he stands supreme. It's not even close. So I just feel like no one can be in royalty tier alongside Reagan. Okay, Obama, you done did really good. A little less than I was hoping. So Obama, welcome to S tier. You can hang out with your buddy Bush. You can ask him about how he did sing very well. Just 3 presidents remain. William Harding. Okay. I don't know anything about William Harding. Bro got them thick eyebrows. Yo, look at that. They're so dark too. Known for the Teapot Dome scandal. I don't know about Teapot Dome. Last time I heard about tea, we were trying to toss it into the bay. This guy went to jail for it. Apparently Harry Daughtry, who I don't know who it is, was promoting him for president because he looked like a president. Imagine if that was our qualifications for anything. Hi, I'd like to apply to be a civil engineer. Well, you sure do look like one. Hired.
We can prove a representative popular government under which the citizenship seeks.
Homeboy is putting me to sleep. He's so boring.
Will come the unanimous committal to economic justice.
I don't know. It's such a boring nothing voice. Plus, the man disrespected a teapot. You can just live down there with Coolidge. It wasn't that annoying, but I really didn't care for it. You might be on the bottom of every list. I don't know. You were a snooze to listen to. Okay, it is down to Harrison and Ford. It's funny, our last one could potentially be the first recording. It is. That's really funny. All right, but first up, before the last one, we got to do Gerald R. Ford. All right, Gerald Ford. I don't know if this photo's been doctored, but those are some crazy blue eyes, if not. This homeboy stepped in after Nixon and tried to bring things back together. I don't know. Kind of sounds pretty dope.
Our long national nightmare is over.
Ford seems kind of cool. I think I like him. Hopefully he didn't do anything bad. I hope. Just to clear up any confusion. Ford. President Ford. Ford Motor. Got it. You leave me in a tough place. You seem like a cool guy. You seem like you're a cool old dude. But I feel like the voice is just okay. Like, it's good when you're speaking. It's definitely a strong speaking voice. I can't find any recordings of you singing, you know, and I don't think you'd have it in you. I'm going to be honest. I just don't see it. I'm going to give you a C tier. I don't find you off-putting. I would imagine you could whip out some singing, probably out of key. You know, you wouldn't have any timing. You would be so off. But, Jared, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Finally, by some crazy chance, the very first recorded president is our last person. So, Benjamin Harrison, welcome. Welcome. I guess it's worth noting there are these crazy AI wiggling head things. I'm sure you all seen him, but his has this crazy moment where he goes cross-eyed and his beard just vanishes in the middle. Check this out. Let's hear it. The first ever president recorded on audio, 1889. He's really got that sing-songiness a lot of the early guys did. Our two countries can live side by side. I feel like his eyes are kind of similar to mine. Is that weird? Are my eyes similar to his? Just like a little like narrower, droopy on the edges? Is this my dad? Dude, he has like his DJ sign off. Benjamin Harrison. Ow! I liked him. I liked the DJ tag. Was it the best ever? No. We definitely saw some much better performing presidents today. But I'm going to pop him in right there in a pretty full stack of B tiers. A lot of people right in the middle, they were just fine. But we had some real stinkers. There were some certain upsets. Man, Roosevelt, maybe the biggest upset for me of the day. I thought Roosevelt was gonna like come out like bam, like I'm the wild guy out in the fields. He didn't. He sucked. Ronald Reagan was maybe no surprise to anyone, but he did come out swinging. George W. Bush was also a pretty big surprise to me. And I had no idea Nixon was so musical. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave a like down below. Click here to watch another video and click here to get subscribed. My name's Joel. Out!